tourism in Egypt. And to shed more light on this topic, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Mohammed Qaoud, member of the Tourism Chamber. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Well, Dr. Qaoud, now Egypt is witnessing a flow of tourists to Egypt. And yesterday we had the news that the hotels in Hurghada is about to hit more than 80% occupancy. So give us an idea about the situation now in Egypt concerning the tourism and for this season.
So basically, for this season, Egypt is witnessing like a high demand in terms of arrivals. So Cairo-wise, it has reached exceeding 70% of occupancy over last year, and the prices as well increase in terms of ADR or average day rate is witnessing more than 15% of a price increase year over year. And on the same time as well, we are seeing a high increase on the Red Sea, especially Hurghada, and the same as well on the upper of Egypt and Luxor and Aswan, and the Mediterranean, the north coast of Egypt.
Yes, what are the facilities that Egypt and especially the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities is providing to the tourists, and concerning the facilitations provided for taking the visa for Egypt?
So there was a multiple factors that have helped us to reach this level and to reach year-to-date close to 17 million of arrival, of which was the increase of the air slots on the different airports and the opening of the new airports. Secondly, as well, the facilitation of the entry visa that has exceeded now to up to or close to 70 countries. They can obtain their visa upon arrival to Egypt. And the facilitation as well for the GCC or the Gulf countries, together with people who are holding permits in the Arab countries, that they can have a visa upon arrival. This is one of the key factors as well in increasing the number of arrivals over here. In addition as well to the entertainment that Egypt is seeing among its coasts, whether it's in New Alamein City or in the North Coast in general, or in Makadi Beach, Sumabay and Sahla, Hashish and Guna in Hurghada, or witnessing as well in Sharm el-Sheikh. So the whole country is seeing what we call like demand generating. So in each destination, we are seeing an attractive point, attracting different segments and different niche markets.
Yes, Dr. Qaoud, now since the pandemic started in the year 2020, most of the people did not travel a lot, but this year, starting from last year and this year, people started to go for tourism and to travel to other countries. How can we take benefit of this? Because there's a flow of tourists in all countries around the world. So how can Egypt be able to attract more tourists to it?
So maintaining our competitive edge, that's one of the main things, and increasing as well the demand generators in Egypt, so to meet all the growing demands of this new market. Besides as well the consistency in quality, so how can we improve the customer experiences at the moment and make it even better so they can enjoy and become loyal and visit the destination multiple times every year. And to have as well like regular guests coming every year. In the same time as well, expanding the capacity in terms of accommodation, because for the first time we see a lack in number of rooms that could be provided. So the demand in Egypt is far higher than the current supply in most of its destinations. So we need to encourage more of the foreign direct investment to come and invest in the hospitality or in the tourism sector in general. Last but not least, the expansion of the current airport in terms of the number of frequent airlines they can fly daily to it.
Yes, so what are the kinds of tourism in Egypt? We have the beach tourism, visiting also antiquities and monuments, and also medical tourism and religious tourism. What are the kinds of tourism in Egypt, and what does which kind the tourists prefer to visit?
So the vast majority at the moment are split between only between two segments, I would say, like that are predominant in the industry. The first one is the classical tours or the leisure tourism that's represented in Luxor and Aswan and on the beach holidays. And secondly, the corporate business or the business travelers who are coming for business in Egypt and meeting, incentive, conference and events. So those are the main two sectors at the moment, or the main two segments. Nevertheless, as you mentioned, like there are some more of a focal point, whether it's entertainment arrivals, as we see the number of concerts that are being thrown all around Egypt, and it has like a certain pool of followers that they are following it. Besides, as well as you mentioned, the medical tourism, the wellness tourism as well is picking up. Culinary as well in Egypt is renowned for all its gastronomy all over the world, so it's attracting as well a different level of clientele. The millennials as well, and the interest, and the young generation. So this all are segments of a growing demand in Egypt. And our role now is to provide those clients with their different backgrounds, with different culture, different age, and different interests with what they are after. So we can gain their interest and we can gain their loyalty into our country.
Yes, so Dr. Qaoud, recently the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities have made some very innovation work in the Karnak temple, and especially some developments that took place providing some services in the Karnak temple. So what's the importance of this for tourism?
It's always important to protect all our key places, and especially like the cultural and heritage places, because they are one of a kind on a global level. So maintaining them and keeping them in a good condition, that's a must. Joint venturing, whether with a governmental institution or a private sector, in order to have a nice customer experience on the place and to provide different services, that's key. And it shows its success when we look at the Grand Egyptian Museum, the pyramids, the Karnak new experience, and Fayala Temple in Aswan. They are all done in a joint venture between the private sector and the public sector, or the Ministry of Antiquities and Ministry of Tourism, of which they have created a level of new experience, and the customers or the travelers start enjoying it in a different way. And that's the key. So once they have a nice experience in the destination, they will definitely come back, and they will start recommending it as well to their families and friends and colleagues.
Yes, my last question, because we're running out of time, unfortunately, Dr. Qaoud, most of the sites around the world from several countries are recommending tourists to visit Egypt, and providing information that Egypt is one of the very important and very good destinations. What's the importance of this?
Geographically speaking, like it's situated in one of the best destinations. Besides as well, from safety and security, like alhamdulillah, and thank God, like that Egypt is far from any of the conflicts that's taking place at the moment. So it's benefiting as well from the unforeseen circumstances or the unforeseen events that's happening in Europe that has affected a lot of travelers within the CIS market. In addition as well, because of the weather of Egypt, so the heat wave that is in the Arab region is pushing a lot of travelers as well to come from the GCC to us. Side as well on the high cost that Europe is experiencing at the moment in terms of power and electricity and fuel is driving customers to start traveling outside, of which Egypt is a very attractive destination. It's economically feasible, and at the same time it's very safe.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Muhammad Qaoud, member of the Tourism Chamber. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. The 16th edition of the Egyptian National Theatre Festival, which is named after the iconic actor Adil Imam, was launched at the Cairo Opera House with dozens of our